Hi, good morning. This is Andrew Lau, Lowsutea president. Wow, I'm so happy to have so many people actually join us today. People from I know from Hong Kong, some of them are from Philippines, some from Hawaii, and some from Los Angeles and North American country. So it's good. I'm so glad that you folks are coming in, and few of them are coming in now. And let me share with you why I choose this uh, webinar called Hot Weather and Diabetic and what is the risk and how do you prevent yourself getting really sick because of hot water. Because in my own eye, actually, I experienced diabetic patients. Actually, he was is a she, by the way, and because the weather was so hot, and net result, his body basically use up all the sugars or much of the sugar that she has on the present bloodstream because it's hot. When it's hot, your heart rate goes up, your blood pressure goes up. And on top of that, you use up more sugar. But the problem is a lot of these diabetic patients, because of the insulin resistance, they don't have enough insulin to, although the sugar is high in the bloodstream, but not getting to the cells. So net result, the patient become hypoglycemic, meaning they have low blood sugar in a sense of in the cells area. So when the cell could not get sugar, even though you do have sugar in your bloodstream, you will feel dizzy and feel not felt well, and then you suddenly just bang fall on the floor and unconscious. And so this is the experience I have actually see my own eye. Wow, I said, wow, if that's the case in hot weather, especially in Hong Kong, Philippines, or in USA, when you get up to 80, 90 years, 90 degrees centigrade or 30 degrees C, 90 Fahrenheit and 30 degrees C, then you really gotta watch yourself. If you're diabetic, you really can think that, wow, I will be always okay and no need to worry. And you have to do hydration, make sure you have enough sugar, and make sure it works. So that's why I think this webinar is really go timely for people now, understanding wow how hot weather affect diabetic patients and or pre-diabetic patient even. Yeah. So with that, I no further delay. I thought that would be great. I will start up my webinar, and thank you very much for all the people who are continue to come in. So, but this webinar will really gonna help you to understand the risks that if you are pre-diabetic, diabetic, what the risks you have, and you can able to help you to protect yourself. So now, hot weather, as you know, is all coming, and sadly, in the world, it's getting hotter and hotter. And as you know, in Hong Kong, it can go as high as 35, 40 degrees centigrade. And in US, it goes as up at 98 Fahrenheit, 100 degree, especially places in Las Vegas and all. Wow, it's getting hot. So now you have to watch. So today we're going to talk about, well, how hot weather affect your diabetes. And that's very important, right? And what is your risk for people who have diabetic and get hot weather? And when do you can seek medical attention, and how to strategize to manage this hot weather and make sure you are safe, and how Lowsutea can help you. So don't think that, well, I'm okay, even though, I stay in the shade, but because the heat itself, although you stay in shade, your body are going to get very, very activated to kind of try to lower the pressure. Net result, they will basically get your heart beat faster, your blood pressure go up, da 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 da. So if you are not prepared, and you can get fainted, and as I mentioned, a sample that I gave a patient that I saw right in front of my, bam, just fall on the floor just like that. And lucky she did not hit her head, but if there is a hard ground, she could hit her head and really injure it and start bleeding. So I'm lucky this individual, when it fall like that, he's not hit in a hard ground. So that way, at least, she was not have other injury because of that fainting. And this fainting, by the way, can be sudden. It go bang, and then it just boom, fall down. So that's something that you have to watch. So let's go on webinar. Now, I saw a lot of people who are here today who I don't familiarize. And so I want to make sure I catch up with everyone to make sure that They know that 4 stage of go from with 4 stage move yourself to diabetes. And the first stage is actually your LDL cholesterol goes up. Now, LDL cholesterol goes up, it damaged the B cell. The B cell is the cells that come up from the pancreas, will take sugar into the cells. When B cell damage, more and more B cell count, it won't work. So more sugars are going to formulate in the gut, in the vessels. When you formulate a vessel, the high LDL cholesterol and the blood sugar container, the blood becomes thick. And that's your problem. We're going to move to stage 2, which is your blood pressure is going to start up. The reason is because this plaque is forming, plaque everywhere, the whole body, all cholesterol. So that result, actually, that's the major problem for diabetes, because they will form plaques everywhere, your brain, your heart, your kidney, damage your body entirely. So that's why diabetic is a big, big problem. And then if you don't do anything, because majority of the time you're not going to feel much sign symptom, you quickly to move to stage 3, which is pre-diabetic. Now, every doctor will measure the same thing in pre-diabetic. They will measure your HbA1c. Now, everybody have this called hemoglobin. And then hemoglobin is to measure how many percent of sugar attached to this hemoglobin, which is if you have 5.7 and below, you're a normal person. If you have 5.7, 6.4, you know what? You are a pre-diabetic patient. And when you're pre-diabetic, you basically really have to aggressively change your lifestyle. If you don't do that, you'll be very quickly moved to stage 4, which is a true diabetic. So during this time, the doctor say, hey, you're pre-diabetic, you have to, do some, not to eat too much sweet and change your lifestyle. Unfortunately, majority of people don't understand what to do. And plus, actually, there's no medication for you. So people just gonna go in the same old lifestyle. Guess what? In about 3 years, they will become a diabetes. So we'll try to help you folks to better understand the disease process and then what to do. Drink Lowsutea, for example, you have to change your lifestyle, exercise, a lower weight, and also, make sure that you have a good diet to control. So, and we'll tell you more about that, because we don't here just to tell you to drink Lowsutea, because we have a 5 program to help you. So why drink Lowsutea, by the way? Well, first of all, Lowsutea have guava leaves to help you delay absorption of blood sugar entering the bloodstream. So, they slow down this blood sugar absorption, but sugar will still go in. So bitter melon is very great because they increase the insulin sensitivity and take back the sugar into the cells. When sugar take back into the cells, you know what? They also, excess sugar, they will dump off from sugar, cholesterol, and salt out the urine. So when that go down, you know what? The cholesterol will go down, sugar will go down, and salt go down, your blood pressure go down. So your 3 high will go down, and also detox. So in the result, really, if you lower your 3 high, the chances for you become a pre-diabetic and diabetes will be much less, and the diabetic complication will be much less to be exhibited. Now, as I mentioned, we have 5 programs, and the 5 program here is we have diet control, meaning you have to follow low-carb diet, low-fat diet. Secondly, you have to exercise. Now, exercise is not that hard. I know a lot of people say, I don't exercise, but it's okay. Just walk. You walk 8 to 10,000 miles, 10,000 foot a day. You are great. 8 to 10,000 steps. That's it. Not a lot. And basically, you do 1 hour, you can able to achieve that. And if you need a little bit more, what you can do is use the barbell and using this exercise at home, using a Stepmaster, going this, and then you do it for 30 to half an hour to 1 hour. You again achieve that, because a lot of people say, well, I'm living in Chicago, it's snowing, I can't do this, but get a Stepmaster, it costs you only $50 US, and you can do that at home, and while doing that, you're watching TV. And so again, this is something that you can entertain yourself and you still do exercise. Now, weight control is very important because you lose 10% of your body weight. So if you are 200 pounds, did a 180, you know what? You have minus 1% of your A1C, meaning your A1C is 8, you go down to 7, 7 to 6. And also, certainly, I'm giving us all these free webinar for you to better understand what to do, how to prevent your pre-diabetic to get worse, how to prevent your diabetes to get less complication. And also, you got to measure your blood sugar. And we have a whole program, how to measure your blood sugar. We'll give you a chart. You write it down. What's the weight? What's the blood sugar 3 times a day or 4 times a day? And what is your exercise steps that you have done? Wow, it's all very easy to do. And that chart is right in here. So net result, you can able to easy to capture the things we learned. And if you are A1C is high, will help to hopefully bring it down to below 5 below 6 and hopefully approaching 5.7, and that will be your target. And we have a lot of diabetic and pre-diabetic patients I saw with my own eyes actually drop down below 5.7. They are very happy. Now, certainly, you got to continue to do this. You cannot say, okay, I'm 5.7, I'm stopped. It doesn't work. You have to continue to work on it, because that's why changing a lifestyle is so important. But once you change lifestyle, you will always the same. Then you know what? You will be always healthy. Wow, my goodness, that you will be always healthy. You lower your tree high, you will not have all the problems that you have, the diabetic complication that you see. Your heart is better, your kidney better. Hey, man, you are really in the right position. And you can see your grandchildren play with grandchildren. Isn't that great? Rather than, I'm sick, I cannot see my grandchildren. I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Okay? So this is what it is. So now, how does hot weather affect your diabetic? Okay? Now, because when your blood sugar go up in a hot weather area, usually your body will respond. If you are hot weather, your blood sugar also go up, because you know why? Usually you don't move much, because hot weather, I want to stay indoor, I don't want to move much. So, but the body also respond. So usually in the body responded with hot weather is increased blood sugar, because they thought that, wow, hey, you might have to do something with it. And on top of that, because your hot weather is also decreased the effectiveness of using the insulin. So the sugar, so it's really a double whammy. Insulin doesn't work well, blood sugar goes up. Secondly, when you hot weather, you sweat, you dehydrated, because what happened is you sweat, you lose body fluid, you lost electrolyte. So net result, you start to get dehydrated. Now, also because you are dehydrated, your blood sugar also increase and will concentrate, because you have less water or less fluid to dilute your blood. So in turn, you make your body, whole body, make it harder for the sugar going to the cells. So dehydration, as I said, that's why Lowsutea is very unique. It's designed to get you to drink 2 liters a day. Well, that's a reason, it's not, I was just want to make 2 liters. The reason is because you got to have enough water or fluid to dilute your blood, so your blood not become thick. And that's the whole reason. On top of that, it also helps you to detox, because you have to have water fluid to help you to dilute the blood to detox and get rid of this bad fluid through urine. So all that dehydration is a important issue, get your blood to be thick. Now, also medication will be affected also, because when you're hot, you're dehydrated, and also your medication could be not as effective to decrease your blood sugar. And on top of that, a lot of medication like insulin need to be refrigerated, and make sure that the hot weather doesn't affect that. That's why a lot of times people don't realize, if I travel in hot area, or even going out, if a person use insulin, they need a small bag with some ice in there to keep the insulin fluid. So these are the kind of simple, basic things that you gotta remember. Hot weather does affect your diabetes. So what is the risk for people, like if I'm diabetic or pre-diabetic? What will be the risk for us if hot weather? Okay. Now, first of all, one of the major risks is dehydration. Now, dehydration basically will affect not only the whole body, affect your blood sugar control, because it reduces fluid, you didn't take enough fluid, your blood sugar will be very concentrated. Remember, we said we don't have enough fluid. Your body, all the blood will become very thick. It's too concentrated. So it also affects your kidney because you have dehydrated, you have not enough fluid to go through the kidney, and it also hindering the glucose regulation. So net result, you are actually create an issue for you. Your body doesn't take the sugar management very well. Okay, now the complication will come is you will have, because it cannot take the sugar back to the cell. So one of the issues will come up is hyperglycemia, meaning that blood sugar will continue to go up higher, higher, higher. But you say, hey, I have sugar. But unfortunately, the sugar not going to the cells. So you do have a high blood sugar because the heat go up, your blood glucose will go up, but the insulins are not working well, so don't take any sugar. So you have an issue. Now, if you are really, really dehydrated and your blood sugar are going extensionally high, then you become diabetic ketoacidosis. Now, that is a dangerous sign where you gotta, with that issue, you gotta go to hospital, not to the doctors, okay? Because you're not go to a private clinic, because hospital is the key for you because you have to be treated right away. So what is a sign and symptom for this dehydration? Now, you can see the picture here, this lady, the lip is totally very dry. You have dry mouth, dry throat, you will feel really, wow, I need water, that kind of feeling. And your urine will be severely dark yellow. Okay, so you know if you have dark yellow urine, you are dehydrated, which you need to drink Lowsutea or fluid water. Okay, and you feel fatigued and also weak because you don't have enough water. As I said, you will feel tired, you feel weak, and you feel dizziness, and you feel lightheadedness, and then eventually headaches. And these are the typical sign. So if you have this sign, you know you need to hydrate yourself. And that is the key, hydration yourself. Because if you don't do that, if you're diabetic, eventually you might end up with ketoacidosis, which is really bad because there's now burning, not regular sugar, burning, the sugar from the fat and muscles, then you will get ketoacidosis. That's not going to be good. Now, why, in a sense, you have so many issues on people who have high blood sugar or low blood sugar? So there are two situations come out. Just now we talk about hyperglycemia, which is the high blood sugar, right? Because sugar is going in the bloodstream but not going to the cells. But also you have the situation of hypoglycemic. You burn up all the sugars, the sugar not enough to maintain your body function, and you are basically get less sugar, and that happened too. So in diabetes, the sad part is your blood sugar can be both and to be not in good level. So you need to watch that. Now, basically, when your insulin sensitivity is not good, in other words, the insulin not working well, then you will have all sort of issue come from this situation. So you might reduce appetite. You will sense that low blood sugar because you basically have like low blood sugar, increased insulin sensitivity due to heat, because basically you have keep sweating and your glucose will deplete it. So net result, you will start getting hypoglycemic because you're sweating, you are losing your glucose in the body. The key is sweating, okay? Then low blood sugar will usually occur. And how does it work at that time? Usually you got very confusion, loss of consciousness, and maybe sometimes even seizures. As I mentioned, my patient, when he saw that, he was just drop bang real fast. And basically she was hypoglycemic, meaning that they have less sugar in the bloodstream because due to the sweat and due to the insulin are not working well, and you just bang. Now with that, before you get fainted, usually you have the similar symptom like you have dehydration. You have dry mouth, dry throat. You also, your urine become very dark. You also feel weakness. You feel dizzy. You're going to feel headache. And you know what? When you feel that and you're not taking care of it, quickly you will find, bang, you go down and you hit yourself with these issues of hypoglycemic. Now, so that's why you really need to check yourself. If you have this symptom, you need to start thinking, well, I might need to drink fluid to hydrate myself and make sure that I don't go to hypoglycemia, meaning low blood sugar. Now, when you're hyperglycemic, meaning high blood sugar now, so again, because of the hot weather, it affects your insulin function in the body. And in dehydration is actually increased insulin resistance. Now with that, you basically, the body are not using the insulin to take sugar into the cells. Sugar continue to pump into, because the body would say, hey, it's hot, I need you to get me sugar to make sure my body, how to cool myself off and energy and da-da. So really at the end of the day, your body will start pumping more sugar, but it cannot go into the cells. So your sugar will continue to go up. When it continue to go up, the major risk you have is you don't want to be in that boat is ketoacidosis. Okay. So with that, you really got to go to the hospital, not to a doctor, typical clinic, because you need to get hospital to help you. And with that, the sign and symptom is you'll be very, very thirsty, very, very thirsty. It's more than your dehydration thirsty. This is going to be, is the extent of thirst that is so severe. Now, then you also go to frequent urination. It's not dark brown. You go frequent urination. You go, 5-10 minutes, you're going to go shishi again. You need to urinate all the time. Now, certainly fatigue, feeling tired is always very common. So the difference here as hypo and hyper is you are now have frequent urination as very, very thirsty, and you feel that fatigue is the same. Then you come in blurry vision, you feel nausea and vomiting, and so which is different from the hypoglycemia, because usually the chance of nausea and vomiting a little less in low blood sugar. Hyperglycemia tend to have more of that. So then with this, you need to actually go to hospital, not in a sense just go to a doctor clinic, because you might need that emergency care to help you. So now, then let's go back to what will be the severe sign that you need to seek immediate medical attention. Now you have dehydration, meaning that you really you really want to drink water, but you're dehydrated, but you didn't drink water. Okay, so your problem usually you will be basically, you have felt really thirsty, but you now not able to drink water anymore, feeling vomiting, nausea. You're severe dehydrated. That's the case. It's not. Before you get that, you can still drink water. But when you get severe dehydration, you might not want to drink water. You feel vomiting, okay? But that's the time that, wow, that was an issue, because you can't even drink water because you're so dehydrated. And you have the sign and symptom of weakness, and basically might be fainted and so forth. But low blood sugar issue is a little better, because you can give candy, hard candy to suck on. That will change pretty much on your situation real quick, fast. So hypoglycemia a little easily work, in a sense that you could put a sugar candy in your mouth, you can able to, and you will be, actually, once you get the sugar, you're awake. It's very simple. And so, but you don't want to basically get so bad you fainted, then you have a easy. So you can either sit down, rest, lie down, get some hard candy with your hypoglycemia, and dab on this candy of some sugar. Usually you can revive yourself pretty easily. Now, but hyperglycemia, when high blood sugar now, I'm talking about. So your blood sugar are consistently to be high. Now the symptom will be continue to get worse and worse and worse. So you get excess thirst, similar to here, where you have excess thirst, you have frequent urination, fatigue, blurred vision, nausea, vomiting. Those are the key issues that if you see that, that's mean you're moving pretty much closing to ketoacidosis, which you need to go to a hospital to get treated in this one. And all that complication will come, which you need to really put yourself attention. So in 3 items, important is if you are before not severe dehydration, you need to start helping yourself stay hydrated. So in other words, you need to drink plenty of water throughout the day, avoid sugary drink, meaning that you don't want to get a cup of Coke to go in because you are a diabetic, you can't do that. Just drink maybe Lowsutea, maybe water, but no sugar, meaning that not getting some bubble tea because you can't handle it. And if you do that, actually get your dehydration worse. And last but not least, make sure don't drink alcohol. Don't drink several pints of beer because a lot of people actually will do that, but that is not the way to go for treating a dehydration. Okay, so good with water will be a very good thing to have. Okay, and then in addition, because you are dehydrated, you have to stay cool in an air-conditioned environment. Make sure that you wear light clothing, breathe. These clothing will breathe comfortably, not overheating yourself. And then really at the end of the day, if the sun is right above you and you're going out to go someplace, try stay under the shade. Make sure that whatever outdoor activities not to do because you have diabetes now. I'm talking about you have high 100-degree Fahrenheit or 40 degrees C. You stay indoor, especially at the time where the heat of 10 to 4 p.m. That's the hottest time. So stay indoor, not to overheating yourself. That's the most important. So these are the things that to help you to stay hydrated and make sure you don't get over dehydrated, because that way you can at least don't have to go to the hospital or doctor. More important, you just need to do things wisely to prevent your crashing. Okay. Now, certainly, as a diabetic, your meal has to change a little bit to accommodate this hot weather. So what is that? So maybe you can basically start doing very light, refreshing meals like a lot of vegetable, a lot of lettuce, cool lettuce with high fiber food with whole grain fruits, vegetable salad, and also basically with a lot of nuts. And that way it will help you better blood sugar level, but the fibers can also help you make sure that not a lot of sugar absorbed into your gut, but it also help you to generate fiber to you get better bowel movement and so forth. So that is really good. You have to get all these good meal to help you. Now, secondly, you also need to get yourself not to do severe exercise during the time of overheat. Do it in the morning, 5 a.m., go walk on the park, or go 6 a.m., walk in the park. It's still good because it's still cool. But you at 10 a.m. to 4 p.m., you do exercise, you're going to basically are overheating yourself. So during this time, even though if you have to do it or you have to go out and walk, make sure you stay hydrated, bring water with you so you drink along the way. So not to excess exercise during the hot time. That is really important, okay? So also, how do you see if you are very hot and over exhausted and you might have heat stroke? So you need to understand the symptom of this, where you get heat stroke, feel dizziness, and you really don't feel well, or you might even have start feeling nauseated and you can't even drink water. Now you need to seek medical attention immediately if you have this kind of symptom, as I said earlier. and you might get confused, fainted. That's common, people who have severe dehydrated and also has heat stroke. So to do that, you make sure several things for diabetic patient. You have to actually first, if you go out, you do need like meet after the insulin, make sure the insulin stay in a cool place. So that's why a lot of people carry a little ice pack with them if they're diabetic. They have a cool pack and they get one of those blue eyes in there, keep the insulin cool, because you got to have that in order the insulin will continue to be good, okay? And you will avoid any kind of exposure, heat exposure for all your blood sugar monitor item, like test strip, those things like that. So the equipment has to be good. Now, don't ever actually put in under sun inside the car with direct sunlight, with like you go to the beach and wherever. Make sure you carry that little ice pack out of the way. Let me share with you a real story. Unfortunately, one of the client I hired is say, hey, they put, he has some ice box in the car holding this insulin. Unfortunately, the ice box is not a very good ice box and is inside the car. You know how hot the car go? It go more than 100 degrees. So the ice very fast as evaporate. So by the time, from the morning time to afternoon time, his ice box has no longer functioned as an ice box. So the insulin basically are no longer effective. So end up, you got to get new insulin and it's not good. So you don't want to do that. And you want to make sure that the insulin go with you and a real cool ice box. You can always manage, monitor it, make sure it is really continue to cool ice box. Now, also, you need to always keep in mind, you have to tell your friends and family that, hey, I'm going to the beach, and make sure that, or I live alone, and make sure they know that in case emergency, you can find your relative to help you. Now, this is important because especially a lot of older folks are living on their own and they have diabetes and the weather is hot. And make sure you can cool yourself. And if you really feel like, hey, I'm not really doing good, I think I have hypoglycemia, meaning my blood sugar is real low. Now you can able to suck out some candy, but what happened? You have hyperglycemia, then you feel really, really sick. So you have to call your friends or your neighbor or even call ambulance. So you have to have that ready. And you have to basically continue to check, is the weather continue to be very hot, and then make sure set up this area that is cool for you to relieve that severe heat. Now, a lot of people I know in Hawaii, they have fans. If you have fan, you got to get fan to cool yourself off. Also, another thing too is it got real hot. If it's actually real hot, what you can do is also put a sponge bath. You water yourself and just sponge yourself. And guess what? That can cool your body real quick. So do that, just, basic thing to help you to lower your blood, lower your body temperature, and make sure maintain your blood sugar are in a good shape. Okay, so that's the key that you got to do. Now, on the other hand, another thing that you have to do, you have to really continue to monitor your blood sugar level. Now, if you have, for example, Abbott Libby will be good because you can always measure your blood sugar without no problem. But if you don't, you have to poke yourself. So you poke yourself about 3 times to make sure that your blood sugar are continually good. So you have Abbott Libby, one of these things that you can able to check. Oh, am I okay? If your blood sugar are continue to be good in that sense, you have to know that. Okay, you have to know that, wow, my blood sugar is not now 10, 11, or 12, so or 3, or because in 3 it's very easy to go down lower. Then you are now moving toward to the goal or the set yourself up to be a hypoglycemic. So measure your blood sugar in a hot weather is important. You have to measure frequently, maybe 3 times a day, especially in the afternoon. After eat and before eat, you got to do that so you can able to understand where you're at. Now, in the sense that if you go outside, if you go on beach, you make sure you wear protective clothing, make sure that you're under umbrella, not to have overheat. You have to make sure a hat, and also maybe sunglasses to protect you, and make sure wear clothing that decrease your UV light impact. So all these things will now help you to basically better manage your doing your exposure of hot weather. Rather than I go out there, I just hit whatever. Wow, that would be terrible because that's not going to be good for you. You need to take action and protect yourself, and I think that's the key. So, one question a lot of people say, "Wow, how about drink a lot of iced tea or iced water to hydrate my body intake?" Now, iced water is okay, it's good, but not iced coffee. Now, tea, imagine that because the caffeine content is going not good for you. So importantly, you have to have tea with no caffeine, which is like Lowsutea. And you basically, if you drink coffee, you have 100 grams of caffeine, 1 cup only. And then in tea, for example, it's still at 30 to 40 grams, but Lowsutea has 0 caffeine. So you can ice up your Lowsutea, which is very easy to do. You just dump a bag of Lowsutea inside a 1 liter bottle. You steep it for 10-15 minutes, let it cool off, put it in the refrigerator. A lot of my customers, you know what? They make 2 bottles in a day. So they drink along the way just to cool themselves off. And with that, they have maintained better blood sugar level, also continue to increase their water intake, and they're hydrated. Wow, that is so wonderful. And you can drink hot and cold if you want to, but certainly I know many of my US customers, they like it cold, it's fine. Ice it to 2 degrees. They even love it, and they drink it along the way. And some people even put in the ice, the smaller ice box in the car with some blue ice to keep it cool, and that's wonderful. And one customer wrote to me, he said, "Andrew, you save me $20 a day." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I used to buy 5 cups of coffee or iced coffee to keep myself, along the way while drinking. But now I drink a Lowsutea. I'm more than 5 cups a day." He drank about 6-7 cups a day. And he said, "You know what? I only would spend less than $2 because the tea is around $2, right?" So he said, "You have saved me a lot of money and I'm enjoying it." Now, he also put some limes, green lime juice on the Lowsutea, which is perfectly good. And he loved the taste and he enjoyed it. And now he said, "This is something so good. And I feel really refreshing after drinking Lowsutea." Now, so you're drinking tea, you actually give you the hydration benefit. And Lowsutea is really good because it's herbal, caffeine free. And you keep drinking Lowsutea, you can do it the whole day long. You drink 6 to 8 cups, it hydrates you. It's also maintain your better blood sugar level, cholesterol level, and blood pressure level, and detox. And that's wonderful. Now, Lowsutea definitely help you to lower your blood sugar, cholesterol, LDL cholesterol, that is, and also blood pressure. And it is all herbal. There's no caffeine, absolutely no caffeine. And it's really help you to maintain better blood sugar level. So lower your blood sugar, lower blood pressure, and lower bad cholesterol, which is the LDL cholesterol. So in conclusion, when you have issue with high temperature, whether it is coming hot, and you can see it in a couple months. That's why we'll organize this webinar for you to make sure prepare yourself for this hot weather. So if you are diabetic or you're pre-diabetic, remember, hot weather will affect your blood sugar level. And you need to have hydration, meaning you have to drink enough fluid to keep yourself hydrated, to make sure that you not go over too hot, affected your blood sugar up and down. Now, to do that, you have to have good hydration, monitor blood sugar, meaning that you have to stick a finger to understand where you're at. And then you also continue to take a medication. If you need insulin, do insulin. But your insulin must be stored in a little ice box to make sure that that insulin are continue to be good. If not, you will waste insulin. Now you have to recognize the sign of dehydration, hypoglycemia, hyperglycemia. All these are important sign that if you are extremely thirsty, are feeling dizziness, and frequent urination, those are bad signs because these are a sign of hyperglycemia, meaning that you might go into ketoacidosis, which you don't want to. So you got to make sure that you know this is the sign. But if you're hyperglycemia, a little bit better because you just basically get some hard candy of suck on, you get back a sugar, you come back. Now you're dehydrated. It's not early sign dehydrated, just drink more fluid, like Lowsutea will help you. Now, people will say, wow, I don't drink coffee, but if I drink tea, now tea still has small amount of caffeine, but you drink Lowsutea, there's zero caffeine. So that will help you continue to be hydrated with no caffeine issue. And you want to make sure that you want to tell people, hey, I'm living alone, or I'm going to the beach, I'm diabetic. So people know where you're at, can help you. If you can help, you can call for help to your relatives or your neighbors, and make sure that you have access to help. Now, the worst thing is you go out there, no one knows you're diabetic, you fainted, and then people try to revive you. It's going to be tough, right? So you make sure to do that. Now, you also need to work with a healthcare professional to make sure that knowing, where's the blood sugar level, especially measure, and you can basically give you more guidance for you to enjoy this hot weather, but you can able to protect yourself not being overheat up. So we gave you a lot of idea now how to help you to live through, enjoy this hot weather. The important thing is prevent your dehydration, prevent you not to go to hypoglycemia, which is low blood sugar, prevent you from hyperglycemia, with too high blood sugar. So this, now you have the idea to how to manage and move forward to the summer and enjoy your summer holidays and summer time. I think it will be wonderful. Now, I know you might want to have some question to ask me. It's okay. Ask me through Andy, A-N-D-Y, at wahfong.com, W-A-N-D-Y at W-A-H-F-O-N-G.com. And then we will also require, you want to give me a WhatsApp message, is 852-3001-5644, 852, which is country code 3001-5644, or 852-6792-8891. So do write to me, because a lot of people do write to me, and I answer them, and they're very happy to get some information. So keep in mind, we are here to help. We're here to support you throughout your diabetic journey, holding your hand. So that's why this webinar all free, to help you better understand how to work with hot weather, how to work with low blood sugar, how to work with high blood sugar, and maybe also give you continue to be healthy, lower your tree high, so you be continue to be living in good health and not to get all kind of diabetic complication. And that's our objective. I think we're getting there. So thank you very much for attending the webinar. I hope you have a wonderful time, and we will talk to you next week. See you. Take care. Bye-bye.